Hey everyone, welcome to our CoachRx Essentials onboarding webinar. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ashley and I'm your Coach Success Manager here with CoachRx. Whether you've already started exploring the platform or you're just about to dive in, you're in the right place. Our goal today is to guide you through the core features of CoachRx, ensuring you have a smooth and successful onboarding experience. Throughout this presentation, I'll share various resources and tips and even ask you some questions to engage with. Let's give it a try. Where are you joining us from today? I'll give you a few seconds to go ahead and answer that question. During today's session, I'll be answering questions through our designated chat feature, so please type them directly into the chat box. Our team will be monitoring the chat, so make sure to say hi and just let us know if you have any questions. If I can't answer your questions immediately, I'll make sure to get back to you by email. We will also send out a recording of this Onboarding Essentials webinar after today's session. Make sure you stay until the end to take advantage of our webinar-only offer. So what is CoachRx? CoachRx is a comprehensive platform designed to empower coaches like you by streamlining exercise, nutrition, and lifestyle prescriptions while also helping you run your business with ease and efficiency. Our goal is to provide a seamless, intuitive experience so that you can focus on what you do best, coaching your clients. Today, we're going to walk through the core features of CoachRx, show you how to navigate and utilize the platform, and answer any questions that you might have along the way. We won't dive too deeply into any one feature. Instead, we're going to provide an overview. For those deep dives, you can check out our past webinars, the Help Center, and our resources page, which we'll include in an email after this session. Our aim is to help you make the most out of your trial period and hopefully continue your journey with us at CoachRx. So let's dig in and get started. All right, so let's take a look at our dashboard. Our dashboard is essentially our command center, and it is a tool to provide you with just so much valuable insight to the priorities that are needed for your clients or that you need to address for your clients. We have a couple different sections of this dashboard that are going to really help you just get organized. And so we have our needs attention section. We have our my stats section, my tasks. We also have our touch points, and then we also have our activity feed. So looking at this right sidebar, we have our my stats. This is just your overall coach compliance and showing you the compliance for all of your clients' exercise, whether it's their total compliance, whether it's just their lifestyle compliance, or whether it's just their exercise compliance. You can also change the view for this, whether you want to see compliance over the last 7 days, or the last 30 days, or over the last 90 days. Next on this right sidebar, we have My Tasks. This is going to be a place for you just to help you stay organized so you can create your own tasks. You can view in progress. You can also view your completed tasks. You can add a task by clicking this Add Task button. You can enter the due date. You can tie it to a specific client if you'd like. And then you can also then add in the task description and hit save. In the task section, you will also start to get some tasks that are automated. So maybe you added a client and after 2 days, they still haven't accepted their invite into CoachRx. You will get a task that will just say client A has not accepted their invite into CoachRx. You might get some automated tasks for somebody has a subscription expired, somebody has a past due invoice, maybe somebody's credit card is about to expire. Just so they don't have to go hunting for those things, it will start to automate that for you. Now let's take a look at the needs attention section. This is going to just start giving you insight into your client's exercise, your lifestyle, and their consultations, or all the services that you provide for them. So if we start looking at clients, we can see that this client has a consultation overdue. They've missed 2 workouts in a row. They've missed lifestyle 2 times in a row. They have less than 50% lifestyle compliance and exercise compliance. So what I can do is I can click into this and kind of get an overview of what's going on with this client, just like a quick snapshot. So they've completed 4 of the last 7 workouts. They have a total compliance right now of 44%. Their exercise is at 70% and their lifestyle is at 90%. So this just gives me a quick snapshot into what's going on with this client particularly. From this section, I can message the client directly. I can snooze this until tomorrow if I just want to start prioritizing certain clients. And then maybe tomorrow I'm going to work on another set of clients. I can go directly into the client calendar from here. And then these 3 dots right here will allow me to choose which coaching services I provide for this client. So maybe you don't do any sort of lifestyle coaching for this client. You can toggle this off and then you would never be notified of anything that's coming due for that, for lifestyles, or you just won't receive those notifications. Now, if I get down into touch points is basically covering all the engagement in which you have with your clients. So whether you're sending them messages, whether you're commenting on their workouts, this is going to just help keep you organized to show you who you've engaged with this week and maybe who you still need to engage with this week. You can update this. So like my settings right now show that each client should get 1 touch point per week. You can update this from your settings if you want to have more than 1 touch point. Now, once we get into the activity feed, this is when you will be able to see all of the activity that's been completed by your clients. So you can view exercise, lifestyle, and then the weekly check-ins. And then from here, you can get a quick snapshot of the exercise they just completed. You can write a comment, send emojis, you can send attachments, and then you can also send a Loom video here. All right, so let's take a look at our planning and periodization feature. So as coaching, we know that planning is our starting point for any program design. And in CoachRx, this feature becomes your best ally in creating personalized training programs. You can design long-term training plans that span over several months. And then within those, you can nest in these different short-term plans. In these short-term plans, you can then define the types of cycle that you want to work on. You can add cycle notes, the priorities, and then you can specify training characteristics to ensure a structured and progressive training program for each of your clients. All right, so now let's take a look at the client calendar. This is a visual interactive tool and probably where you will spend most of your time in CoachRx, crafting training programs for your clients. You can view the calendar in various ways. So you can view in monthly, you can view in weekly, and then you can also view in daily. And then if I would click into this long-term view, it would also take me to my planning and periodization feature. So then you can view the long-term plan for this client. As I mentioned, you'll spend a lot of time here designing programs for your clients. We'll do a more detailed walkthrough later on in the webinar, but for now, I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to what this is and then where you will be focusing our time in CoachRx. All right, the index and the exercise library is where you will store all account-wide information. So this can be used by all coaches. If you have multiple coaches in your business or your organization, they will all be able to access this information. On the left sidebar here, you're going to be able to see that we have the exercise library. We have warm-up and cool-downs. This is a place for coaches to be able to create warm-up and cool-down templates. We have metric groups, different lifestyle types, program templates, and then we also have a place where you can create lifestyle program templates. And then we have a place for you to be able to create weekly check-in and intake form templates, and then also a place for you to store documents for your clients to view, so educational documents. The exercise library has over 2,000 exercises already included in CoachRx, but we also give you the ability to be able to add your own exercises. So each exercise has an exercise name, a video link that you can upload from YouTube or Vimeo or YouTube Shorts. You can add different instructions and then other organizational tools that are optional, whether you want to put alternate naming or patterns. This will just help you stay organized. But then you also have the ability to, like if there are exercises in the library that maybe you have your own brand specific videos and on this active hang, you want to get rid of this video, you can just delete out this video URL and add the video, your brand specific video, if you would choose to use that. Inside CoachRx, this is where the business side of your coaching practice really comes to life. So you can manage everything right here in one place. So first up, you have payments. You will have to connect to Stripe in order to be able to collect payments. Once you do start connecting to Stripe and get everything set up, you will be able to see a clear picture of your day-to-day business operations. Similar to your activity feed, like your coaching activity feed, you'll be able to see like your net revenue, your subscriptions and invoices and things like that. In the business suite, you have the ability to create products, product types. You can link them to programs, assign them to specific coaches, and use that information to manage your payroll. You can also set up custom pricing plans with flexible intervals, whether it's like daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly charges. Recurring subscriptions, one-time products, and one-time subscriptions can all be created here as well. And then you can even customize your tax settings if you need to do that. On the left-hand side of this business, you'll see payments. which is the main hub where you'll be able to see where all your business activities take place. You'll also be able to see the metrics and reporting. You can track different revenue streams, total subscriptions, both coaching and program specific, monthly recurring revenue, and more. And then you can also run like payroll here. And so this is just creating a checks and balances sheet. So if you have other coaches within your business, you'll be able to tie programs or commission to them. Just create that checks and balances sheet for you, so then you know how much you should be paying them. You can create and then send contracts and waivers directly through CoachRx. You can create a template. Once they're sent, you can then see who has signed these waivers, and then you can download these if you need to. You can also create a storefront directly from the platform, allowing you to sell your services online. So you can sell your remote coaching, in-person services, sell program templates, and then you'll also be able to look at your customer list, and this will just allow you to be able to see all of the customers that you've had in CoachRx, active and archived, to be able to view past subscriptions and things like that. All right, so now we're going to move on to the walkthrough portion of this onboarding webinar, where we're going to actually walk you through how to use some of these features. So we highlighted some of the features, and now we're going to actually walk through how to use some of these features. So let's quickly walk you through how to add your first client in CoachRx. So in your clients tab, we want to click this clients tab up here, and then we will just simply click add client. From here, you're going to add their first name, their last name, their email address. You can update sex if you want, and then you choose their unit preference. Time zone is going to be very important here, especially if you are a remote coach. This is going to be tied to any scheduled messages and also tied to when they receive certain notifications. So you want to make sure their time zone is correct. If they are a client who is working with a coach and that coach gets commission, you can set the commission settings here as well. Once you've entered all these details, we're just going to hit add client. And then once you do that, your client is going to automatically receive a welcome email from CoachRx that's guiding them how to create their account, download the mobile app from their Google Play or Apple Store. And then once they accept their invite, you will be able to start building out programming for them, creating products and subscriptions, and start collecting payments from them. All right, so now let's walk through how to actually build out long-term and short-term plans with our planning and periodization feature. So from the left sidebar, we want to open up planning periodization. I'm going to hit add long-term plan, and I'm going to have my start date. Let's say we'll do November 4th, and we're going to do my end date. Maybe we're going to go till May. And then if I want to add notes here, I can. And then I'm just going to save this long-term plan. So now I want to open this up so I can start adding in these short-term plans. So when we think of long-term plan, essentially we're looking at the macro cycle. Think big picture, spanning over several months, not just weeks. So for example, we have started this at November, and we're going to go all the way until the end of May. So now that we've got our macro cycle set, let's zoom in and start creating some short-term plans. So up here, we're going to click add short-term plan. And then here, I just want to choose what type of cycle type this is. For this one, I'm going to just choose accumulation. My start date's November 4th, and I'm actually going to do an 8-week cycle and probably do like some exercise selection changes at 4 weeks. Then with the start date, once I clicked in the 8 weeks, it kind of populated this end date for me. Cycle priorities for this, maybe we're just going to focus on motor control for this cycle. And then we'll transition into like strength endurance. Cycle priorities. For cycle nodes, we're going to put maybe, we're just going to do some full body resistance along with some easy aerobic work. So then next up, we would focus on that aerobic work through the sustain type. So I'm going to do easy aerobic work. I'm going to do MAP 9. And maybe we're going to do this, let's say 2 times weekly. And then pain type, I'm actually not going to work on any pain with this client. They're just general health and wellness. So we don't really need to work on any lactic endurance or lactic power or things. So I'm going to go ahead and create short-term plan. And now you can see that we have some cycle notes in here. We have some cycle priorities. And obviously you can add as much information in here as possible, but just to keep this simple for this walkthrough, we're just gonna add just a few things. So now that we have all this populated in the short-term plan, now we can move over into the daily plan, which is going to help me with my program design for each of daily plan. Now, one thing I get a lot of questions about is sometimes I open up this daily plan and this is grayed out. I can't type in here. So what I would need to do in order to do that is I would need to go over to this sidebar and I would need to update this client's training schedule and make sure that they have their training days set. If not, you will not be able to type into this daily plan. Just a little side note, make sure you set that first. So for example, I'm just going to keep this simple for us. So I'm just gonna do FBR. Typically here, I might put movement patterns like squat with a horizontal pull. Maybe I'm gonna do a hinge with a vertical push. Maybe I'm gonna do some accessory work based on things that I noticed from that client's assessment. So I'm gonna do FBR Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then maybe we're gonna do easy arrow on Thursday, Tuesday, and then we're gonna do easy arrow on Saturday. And so what this will do is this is gonna populate these visibility tags directly onto your client calendar. So if you do have these movement patterns listed like squat, pull, hinge, push, it's going to allow you to easily select exercise selection based on those tags. And then once you are finished with this, you just would hit save, and then you would be able to edit this if you need to. You can update the daily plan, and then you can also export these short-term plans and long-term plans to your clients for their information, just so they have a good idea of what you guys are working on through these macro, micro, and meso cycles. Okay, so now let's walk through how to start designing programs within the client calendar. Remember those tags that we just created in the planning and periodization feature under the daily plans? You can see that these are populating up here now. So it says FBR on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then you'll see easy arrow on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Before we start designing programs, let's take a moment just to get familiar with the calendar itself, since this is where you'll likely spend most of your time inside CoachRx. So starting with this left sidebar, you can either keep it collapsed or you can expand it. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it expanded as we're exploring, just so that you can see all the different things that are in there. You can, here on the sidebar, you have options to like message your client directly. You can look at their past metrics. You can look at consultation notes as you're designing programs. You can look at their goals. You can also look at their create lifestyle plans from here, check the priorities that you either created for them or that were created from the assessment that you used. And then you can also look at the equipment list. So maybe they're a client who doesn't work with you in person, so they have access to their own gym or a garage gym. You need to make sure that you're utilizing the equipment that they actually have. You can also look into shortcut keys. So this will pull you up. This will just allow you to get super efficient with program designing, not letting you have to take your hands off the keyboard so that you can navigate the calendar, copy and paste things, just helping you become even more efficient with your program design. All right, so moving up here into the top navigation bar, you can scroll forward and backwards in the calendar to view past workouts, future workouts. You can just scroll back to today if you need to. I can put in a specific date if I need to and look at different calendar dates. Here, we can do a search exercise history. So this is going to allow you to do an all search for all exercises that this client has done, just giving you a good guidance on past weights they've used, exercises that they've used. Maybe you need to progress them to something more challenging. This is where you can also toggle back and forth between the lifestyle and the workout calendar. So if they have lifestyle prescriptions, you would be able to view those here. This is going to allow you to either hide these daily tags, so now they've gone away, or I can view these daily tags. This is where you can export workouts, so you can export your clients' workouts to them via email through PDF or a TXT file. And then this is also where you will locate RxBot, which is our native AI feature, and we'll dig into that a little bit after we start designing some programs on our own. Okay, so now let's see, as we start designing training programs, if I hover over a date, let me get into the exercise calendar, you'll see have different icons here. So we can add a workout, we can add a lifestyle, I can add a rest day, I can paste a workout from somewhere else. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit add workout. I can title this whatever I want. If you leave it blank, it'll just say workout. Here, next you can put your coach's notes. So this allows you to either type out coach's notes, or you can simply click this little camera icon, and this camera icon will bring up the Loom integration so that you can record a video of yourself walking through today's workout or the week's workout, just to give your clients more personalized coaching and kind of give them an understanding of the intent behind the exercise today. Next, you can either add a warm-up manually, or if you've added warm-up templates in your index section, this is where they would populate. So maybe if I'm going to type in shoulder warm-up, I can click shoulder warm-up here, apply that, and then my demo videos are already added. Anything that you add into the calendar, so the coach's notes, the warm-ups, these demo videos, these are going to show directly into the client's mobile app for them to be able to see all of those videos. All right, so now we're gonna get into the exercises. So we can either add exercise or we can add mixed modal. So here I can start typing in, let's say, back squat. Once I add back squat, it's automatically going to link this video, and then I can put in my tempo, reps, and sets. And let me go ahead and add this as a superset, and then I'm gonna add a pulling exercise just to balance this out. And then I can copy and paste this tempo, reps, and sets down here. And you can see that the demo videos were automatically attached to that. And then same thing with warm-ups, you can add cool downs as well. You can add in mixed modal exercises, some aerobic pieces, things that are going to allow you to add multiple exercises. So maybe it's a 20-minute AMRAP, maybe it's an every minute on the minute, and then you're doing 3 or 4 different exercises and that you need to add multiple demo videos. And then I can just save this. And then you have the ability to be able to drag exercises into the next day. If I need to copy this to progress it next week, I can copy it and then paste it down. All right, so let's take a look at RxBot really quick. So RxBot is only available right now in your client calendar. So if I click into RxBot, here I'm going to be able to choose my training days, the number of weeks, and then start to give RxBot some feedback on the intent of the programming that I want to prescribe. So I'm going to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm just going to do 1 week for now, just because I'll be able to progress this on my own. So the intent, going to just build muscle, and then I can add some prompts here. So we offer a use case library that have some prompt examples so that you guys can practice using RxBot. But this would allow me to be able to design using an upper lower split. Maybe I want Monday and Wednesday to be upper focused, and I want Friday to be a lower focus. It just allows me to give RxBot more context. Same thing with aerobic base. I can just put aerobic base, and then here we're going to do easy cyclical aerobic work on Tuesday, and then easy mixed aerobic work on Saturday. And then I can add in some optional context too, like use the equipment list of the client, make sure that this program is no more than 45 minutes long. You can just add more context here. Once you put all that in, you will just hit generate program. Once it generates the program, what it's going to do is going to start showing you all the prompts that it created. It's going to give you a summary of what the training program is, the intent behind the training program, and then it's also going to then give you each of the programs for each of those training days. You can use some follow-up prompts if you need to, asking it questions. Why did it choose this exercise over this exercise? It will answer some questions. And then after that, you can click assign program, and that program will be assigned to the client calendar. Once it's assigned, you can then go in and make changes, add supersets, switch up exercise selection if you need to, change aerobic work, time frames, different things like that. So it gives you the availability to be able to customize that as well. All right, so now let's walk through how to create program templates inside CoachRx. But before we just dive into how to create these programs, I want to make you aware that you have the ability to download programs that CoachRx offers, and we offer new programs each month. So you can click this download programs button right here, and it's going to show you all the programs that are available. We don't automatically download them into your organization because we don't want to overwhelm your program list. All right, and then you also have the ability to, like, if you don't want to see all these CoachRx templates, but you do want to have access to them, you can toggle this hide CRX templates on, and it'll hide all of those program templates and just show you the ones that have been created within your organization by you or your coaches. So let's add a program. It should be noted that we have 2 different types of programs that you can create. So just so I can get past this, I'm just going to put test, and then I'm going to put test here. So we have standard programs, and we also have live programs. So think a live program is tied to calendar dates. So no matter when a client joins that program, their day one will always be whatever workout is tied to the calendar date. Now, a standard program is a fixed length program, but it's also a program that you can continuously add to. But whenever a client starts, their start date will always be, or their first workout will always be day one of that program. So if client A starts in October, on October 1st will be day one of that program. But then if client B starts on October 21st, they will be on day one of that program. So it's not tied to calendar days. You can also have the option to select training age, whether it's beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So once I hit save, so I'm just going to select a standard program for this. I'm going to hit save and add workouts. And just like the client calendar, this is how you would build out programs just like we did in the client calendar. Now there's some things and some settings that you should have turned on, especially if you are going to update the program frequently. So I always recommend turning the sync program changes on before you assign it to clients. What this allows you to do is if you can make updates to this program, and then it will automatically sync to the client calendar and make those updates for you, so you don't have to manually go in and fix 15 different client calendars. Once you build out your program, you can add weeks down here. And so you can make it a 6-week program. You can build out 1 week at a time and then add a week continuously, just keep adding weeks. Once you add these weeks, you can then assign these programs. Like once your program's built out, you can assign this program. You can pick the start date of when you want this program to start for these clients, and then you can choose who you want to assign it to, and then you would just hit assign program. Now, if you would ever want to unassign this program from a client, you would just click manage assignments, and then you'd be able to see everybody who is assigned to this program, which obviously we have nobody assigned to this program, and then you would be able to unassign them. You can edit different program settings. So this is a program that you're selling online and maybe you want to be a little bit more hands-off. You can turn on these settings where any comments that you make, messages that you send, they will be read-only. The client won't be able to message you or comment on their workout. And then you can also disable client uploads if you can also toggle these all off if you want your clients to be able to interact with you throughout this program. You can also set client visibility settings. So I can toggle this off and think the current week is Monday to Sunday. So if you want them to be able to see the workouts on Sunday night, I would recommend toggling this off and just changing this number to 7. And then you can obviously change this to whatever your preferences are for your clients. Next, we have the sales page setting. This is what you would set up if you would like to sell this program online. So you would be able to create banners, add program information, and then in order to sell it on your storefront, you would need to just make it public. And then that will show, you then be able to send people this URL and they'd be able to click and purchase this program. One thing that you will need to be able to do is create a product within the business suite that's tied to this program. And then down here is where you would select all of that information so that they know what the price is for the program, and then they can select that and purchase directly online. All right, so that wraps up our CoachRx onboarding webinar. Hope you found it helpful. We covered a lot of ground, highlighting the features you'll likely use most when starting with CoachRx. While we didn't touch on every single feature, our goal was to give you a solid overview of all the essentials. As mentioned at the beginning, be sure to explore the Help Center and go through the onboarding materials you receive when you sign up. If you have any specific questions or need advice on how to best utilize CoachRx for your business, don't hesitate to reach out to our team or me directly, your Coach Success Manager. We're here to support you and ensure your transition to CoachRx, whether from another platform or as your first fitness coaching tool, is a smooth and successful process. Thanks for joining the call. We appreciate your time and hope you found this session very valuable. Please let us know if there's anything we missed or if you have any other questions. For our first-time users, we have a special welcome offer to show you our appreciation for joining the webinar. We truly value your time and we hope you found this session valuable. As a thank you, we're giving you a coupon code for a 20% discount on any plan for the next 3 months, including annual plans. So to take advantage of this offer, simply apply the code CoachRx101 under the plan and billing section in CoachRx. We want to make your transition as smooth as possible. So go ahead and get started with CoachRx today.